You ever have that feeling where life's okay, ticking along, but there's this little voice, maybe, whispering about something? More. Like you could take a bigger jump, but you're just kind of stuck. We actually heard from a listener, Elizabeth Ellery, who put it really well. She talked about feeling low even when things seem fine on the surface, like just existing, not really living. So today, we're doing a deep dive into exactly that feeling. We want to give you some tools to maybe push past it. We're going to unpack Jen Sincero's huge bestseller, You Are a Badass, How to Stop Doubting Your Greatness and Start Living an Awesome Life. And for this, we've got a really solid book summary to pull from, but also, crucially, a personal story from Elizabeth herself about how this book genuinely changed things for her.
And our mission here really is to dig out those core insights, the stuff that helped Sincero herself go from, well, being broke despite being published to becoming a millionaire. And also how those same ideas helped others, like Elizabeth, tap into their own potential, embrace their greatness, and really build an awesome life. We'll be looking at some surprising bits and definitely some practical tips you can use.
Exactly. The goal is to give you a fresh look at how you can face down challenges and really go after what you want. It's about finding that inner strength, that resolve, to start building the life you actually picture for yourself. So let's dive in and unleash that inner badass. Okay, so to kick things off, what's the absolute core message? The big idea Sincero really wants us to get.
It's incredibly direct, actually. The fundamental message is simply, you are a badass. It's not a maybe, it's a statement. And what gives it weight is her own story, right? She wasn't always successful. She was a published author, yeah, but she was broke, really struggling. So she really decided to change things. Dove headfirst into self-improvement books, courses, everything. And this book, You Are a Badass, with its 27 chapters, it's basically her playbook. It's what she learned and did to tackle her limiting beliefs, build confidence, chase big dreams, and yeah, make a lot more money. Her journey is kind of the proof behind the whole thing.
That personal story makes such a difference, doesn't it? It's not just theory. And you mentioned a non-negotiable decision. That feels key. It's not just like wishing things were different. How does she talk about making that first real commitment?
Yeah, she really hammers that point home. Wishing is passive, decision is active, it's choice. Her call to action is basically, don't just wish for change, make a real non-negotiable decision.
Non-negotiable. I like that.
To start living your best life. It means drawing a line, committing, like no turning back. You're telling yourself, and maybe the universe too, that you're serious. You're ready for something new. Without that solid decision, the how doesn't seem to show up.
Okay, that makes sense. A definite starting point.
Yeah.
But okay, before we can really jump in and be this badass, we usually need to figure out what's stopping us.
That's right.
What are those things Sincero points to? The obstacles that kind of keep us stuck.
Right. She highlights 3 main internal barriers. The first one, and it's probably the biggest, is our limiting beliefs and the subconscious mind. Basically, our beliefs act like filters, They shape how we see everything and how we react. Think about believing this is just how life is for me versus I'm in charge of my life. Totally different outcomes.
Huge difference.
And these beliefs, they aren't facts. We weren't born with them. We pick them up from family, culture, experiences, often without even realizing it. But the amazing part is we can change them. We're free to choose new beliefs. The tricky bit is becoming aware of the old ones running the show.
That awareness piece sounds crucial.
Definitely. Then the second barrier is often about the law of attraction, or maybe skepticism about it. Sincero talks about it in terms of energy. Everything's energy. It's all connected, vibrating. Call it the universe, source energy, whatever works for you.
Okay.
The idea is our thoughts and feelings have a frequency. Like attracts like. So if you're always focused on problems, scarcity, feeling down, that's a low frequency. You tend to attract more of that. But if you consciously focus on what you want, with real confidence, with gratitude, that's a high frequency.
And you attract more good stuff.
That's the idea. You attract more of what matches that higher vibration. She uses an analogy like electricity existed way before we figured out how to use it. What you want might already be out there, in potential. You just need to tune in to the right frequency to see it, to connect with it.
Interesting analogy. Tuning in.
And the third barrier, that's our negative self-perceptions. Sincero has a great name for it. The big snooze.
The big snooze. Love it.
It's that inner critic, right? The ego, the shadow self, whatever you call it. That voice that pipes up whenever you try to step outside your comfort zone, telling you you're not smart enough, you'll fail, you don't deserve it, all that stuff.
We all know that voice.
Well, we do. And it's the opposite of what she calls your higher self. The part of you that sees possibilities, trusts, knows you can grow. And here's a kicker. Sincero points out, It takes just as much energy, maybe more, to constantly put yourself down as it does to lift yourself up.
Wow. It really hits home.
So why choose the negative path,
That big snooze idea, it's so relatable. That critic feels so real sometimes. And the point about energy, using it for negativity versus positivity, that's powerful.
Yeah.
So if someone's listening and thinking, yeah, I hear that big snooze, or I probably have limiting beliefs, what's a first step Sincero suggests just to start noticing them?
Awareness is definitely step one. She'd say, just start paying attention. Listen to those recurring negative thoughts. Notice the excuses you make. When do they pop up? Usually when you're trying something new, right? Or feeling a bit vulnerable.
She's a big fan of journaling. Actually writing those thoughts down. Get them out of your head and onto paper where you can look at them objectively. It's like you can't pull a weed until you see it, right? Once you see it, you can decide to deal with it.
Okay, so identify the weeds first. Makes sense. All right, so we've kind of looked into the shadows, the big snooze, limiting beliefs. But Sincero doesn't just leave us there, does she? She gives us tools, right? Strategies to actually move forward. Let's get into those actionable steps. She breaks them down, I think.
She does, into 4 main parts. We can dive into some key examples from 3 of them. First up is part 1, embracing your inner badass, discovering your calling. This is all about finding your purpose.
The big one. Finding your purpose. That can feel so huge. Like, where do you even start? How does Sincero make that less daunting?
She offers some really practical ways in, 3 main tips. First, try looking at yourself like a stranger would, an objective observer. What talents would they see? What resources? What opportunities? Things you might be totally blind to yourself because you're too close to it. Interesting, like an outside perspective.
Exactly. Second, look around you. What are other people doing that genuinely excites you or interests you? Is it the freedom someone has working for themselves? The teamwork you see somewhere else? Building something physical? Creating something artistic? It's not about copying them, but identifying the qualities of what they do that really light you up.
Okay, so looking outward for clues, too.
And third, and this is a big relief for many, she says just take a step. Any step. You don't need the whole grand plan figured out. Just move in a direction that feels kind of right, even a little bit right. You'll learn as you go. You'll figure things out, adjust course. It's about starting the motion.
Okay, that takes some pressure off. Just start moving.
Exactly. Then we get to part 2, tapping into the source energy, changing your thoughts, changing your reality.
Right, this idea that thoughts create reality. That can be a tough one for people to grasp, especially the how. It feels a bit abstract sometimes. How does she make this practical?
It does require a bit of a leap, yeah, because it flips our usual way of thinking. Sincero argues you have to believe it's possible first, before it shows up. The thought comes before the thing. So she gives 3 practical tips. 1, quieten your mind. This isn't just relaxing. It's about actively creating clear mental space, like an empty space where you can really focus, visualize clearly, and basically ask the universe for what you want.
Intentional quiet time.
Very intentional. 2, create a vision board. Classic tool, but she emphasizes making it detailed. Images, words, feelings, put it somewhere you see it every single day. It helps freeze that desired reality in your mind, making it feel more real, more inevitable.
Constant visual reminder. Got it.
And 3, this one's powerful. Live your vision as if you've already achieved it. This means acting, thinking, and feeling like the person who already has what you want. Now.
Okay, give me an example.
Sure. Her example is wanting to be a presidential aide. Don't just wish. Imagine being in the White House, the meetings, the work. But more than that, act the part now. Network with relevant people, take on similar tasks, maybe even dress the part. It's about generating the energy of that future reality right now so you start attracting the opportunities that match it.
Wow, that's proactive. Acting as if.
Very. It's not faking it, it's aligning with it. Then the third area we wanted to hit is part 3. Stop sabotaging yourself, tackling overwhelm.
Oh yeah, overwhelm. Definitely something many, many people can relate to. That feeling of drowning in stuff to do. So when you're in that state, feeling totally swamped, what's this feeling? Sincero's advice, how do you get back in control?
She's really clear that being constantly frazzled just doesn't work. It kills your performance. She points to 3 common illusions that fuel that feeling of overwhelm and ways to break them down. First illusion, not enough time. We all say it right.
All the time.
But she says you can manage time if you're ruthless about it. Respect time, yours and others. Be punctual, meet deadlines. And critically, identify your biggest time sucks. Social media. Email black hole. Make them harder to access when you need to focus. Break big projects into tiny steps. Work in focused bursts like 60 minutes on, then a real break. It's way more effective than hours of distracted work.
Chunking it down. Focus bursts.
Okay. Second illusion, too much to do. Instead of focusing on the giant list, shift your mindset. Focus on what you can do and try to find some joy in it. Stop saying I'm so busy all the time. That just reinforces the feeling.
Like the story we tell ourselves.
Exactly. Focus on the time you do have. Prioritize like crazy. What has to be done now? Use your best energy for that. Delegate, postpone, or just drop the rest. Not everything is urgent.
Learning to let things go or wait.
Absolutely. And the third illusion, often missed. Too tired. Sounds obvious, but Sincero stresses you just can't operate well on empty. It's biology. So you have to take real time to rest, recover, recharge. It's not optional. It's essential for performing well and keeping that energy high.
Protecting your energy. Foundational. Okay,
Very
these are
stupid.
fantastic strategies. But hearing about them is one thing. Seeing them work in real life, that's different. Which brings us back to our listener, Elizabeth Ellery. Her story really makes these ideas concrete, doesn't it?
It really does. Elizabeth was very candid. She started out super skeptical about self-help, cynical even, but she also felt kind of low, knew she wanted more after 8 years in the same career. A successful friend pushed her to read You Are a Badass. Her reaction, mind blown. That's literally what she said. She found Sincero's style hilarious, sharp, witty, was perfect for getting past her skepticism, a great entry point. And she saw the impact quickly. She mentioned a friend's girlfriend, inspired by the book, went from being a film runner to directing her own film shown at a major festival.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah. And for Elizabeth personally, it lit a fire. She started a phone case business, Blossom London, got featured in national magazines, which is amazing.
That's huge.
But then she had another realization, really tuning into that calling idea. She figured out her real passion was branding and design, not just the cases. So she pivoted, shifted her whole business to designing websites for female entrepreneurs, using her core skills in a way that felt truly right for her.
That's such a great example of evolving and finding that alignment. And didn't she actually get to meet Jen Sincero later and got even more insight?
She did, which is pretty cool. And she shared some key takeaways from that experience, things that really landed for her personally, like the importance of spending real time alone, thinking, getting super specific about what you want, even putting a price tag on it, figuring out the money needed, and getting okay with wanting to be rich, letting go of the judgment around that, seeing money as a tool.
Releasing the guilt or shame around money.
Yeah. Exactly. Also the need to get uncomfortable,
Yeah.
to actually do the things that stretch you towards your dreams, even if they feel awkward. That's where growth is.
Stepping out of the comfort zone, always key.
Definitely. Making that firm decision now not to be the broke person anymore. Changing that self-identity. Realizing that often everything you need is already around you. You just have to open your eyes and see it.
Recognizing abundance.
Trusting your intuition, that gut feeling. Seeing fear as a compass. Pointing you where you need to go, not a stop sign. Believing that if you have a vision for something great, that vision is your truth. You have to own it.
Wow. That's powerful.
And she mentioned journaling again, digging deep. Her tip was, when you think you're done writing, write 2 more pages. That's where the really deep stuff often comes out.
Going beyond the surface thoughts. I like that. Elizabeth's whole story, it just ties everything together so well, especially her point about money. It wasn't about just having cash, right?
Exactly. She said, I now understand that the pure fact of having money is not going to make me happy. It will be the things that the money allows me to do that will make me happier.
The experiences, the freedom.
Right. But then she added, very pragmatically, if I am to experience these things anyway, I think I'd rather experience them being rich rather than broke.
Huh. Can't argue with that logic.
It perfectly captures letting go of judgment and embracing possibility.
It really does. And it leads back to that quote, if you want to live a life you've never lived, you have to do things you've never done. Simple, but true. Well, this has been quite a journey today, hasn't it? Really digging into Sincero's ideas. From spotting those inner blocks, the limiting beliefs, that big snooze, to getting practical tools for finding purpose, changing thoughts, beating overwhelm. And hearing Elizabeth's story just makes it all feel so possible.
Absolutely. And Sincero herself says something crucial, which Elizabeth's experience proves. The ideas in this book cannot be fully grasped at a logical or conceptual level. You can only experience them through real-life application, unquote. It really highlights that knowing stuff is one thing, but applying it is where the magic happens. Thinking critically, yes, but acting critically too.
Action is key. So, as we wrap up, here's something for you, the listener, to really think about. A provocative thought to take with you. What's one non-negotiable decision you could make today? And what's one uncomfortable but maybe joyful first step you could take towards the life you truly want? Just one step. What's one bold move you can make right now to start unleashing your inner badass?